All right, folks, we're back. Welcome to the semifinals. They're starting up now. It's going to be Ziggy versus Snoot on Neon Violet Square. We will be casting both of the semifinals. So here's the rundown of what's left for the show today. We got 2 best-of-3s through the semifinals. We got a best-of-5 grand finals. And then we have the best-of-5 amateur tournament finals. So 2 best-of-3s, 2 best-of-5s. Whoops, I put 3 fingers up. 2 best-of-3s, 2 best-of-5s. And then we'll be all done for the day. But I'll get some good stuff happening. Also, man, oh wait, Edmund wants me to check Skype. What's going on here?
Drama.
Sorry, I just questioned about people's placements for the Diamond Tournament. But I recently learned, I told you about this before stream, but for stream itself, I recently learned, like, I know I've had access to a gym while living here. My building has a gym in it, and that's cool. But I'm a fat piece of shit, so I never use it. However, I learned yesterday it has a pool and a gymnasium, like an actual like basketball court inside, and apparently free massages. There's a spa. If you book 3 days in advance, you can get massages, and it's free because it's covered in part of the rent. So I'm like, oh, cool. I've been paying for this without realizing it. Like, I was already okay with the cost of living for living here anyways. Just a nice place, nice area. But now I get free massages? What? So like I found out it was yesterday. I'm like, okay, book me down. What's the soonest? They're like 3 days minimum is how you have to schedule it. So 3 days from now, I get to look forward to like seeing whether it's a good or a bad massage.
Man, that's like, how much are you paying to live there? You're paying for massages, you didn't even know it? That's insane.
Dude, it's great.
Sounds pretty sick.
Okay,
yeah, man.
More of my lavish lifestyle in a moment. To kick off the semi-finals, we of course have the bottom right side red Zerg player, Team Liquid Snoots.
In the top left hand side, we just saw him win out against Soul in the TvZ. Our yellow Terran player is Ziggy.
It's great though, Wardy. You can make a mediocre wage in USD and live like a king in Canadian dollars.
That's how it works in pounds as well.
Feels good,
pounds
man.
Worth. So whatever way around it is, it works pretty well for me right now making USD.
It used to be way different, didn't it? Like the euro and the pound were like 2.5, like a few years back.
Oh,
dollar,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Mate, Brexit's really boomed my business. I'm not gonna lie.
Bloody Brexit, man! Should gone out to vote, Wardy.
I did go out to vote.
I hope so. Here's my ideal of a thing, right? Because my house, I bring this up not just because I want to brag about having spa privileges, right? But my house is a 10-minute walk from the venue that we'll be using for the BTSL finals. I really want to get like some players to go to a spa with me and do like a spa interview with them, like for content. I think it'd be great. Like you got Take TV at the pool and all these other things for Home Story Cup. I want to stick somebody in a spa, have them massage, and start grilling them on build orders and StarCraft questions. Like I think it'd be hilarious. And I'm so that's the problem with me. I'm so ingrained in StarCraft 2 content. That was where my mind went when I heard you can get like massages. I'm like. It wasn't, oh man, my back's killing me, I could really use a massage. I'm like, content. I live
can't
a
believe
sad, terrible life. But
it's a good one though.
For those who don't know, to answer the question Wardy did ask earlier, it's about $1,500 US a month. But it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, and I originally had a roommate. She went super cray-cray. I've been living alone since, and it's not been so bad. I've actually kind of enjoyed it. I've got a lot of extra space. I've been using it for VR and other things. It's nice. It's expensive, but it's nice.
You should house a player. Training facility.
For what? Hey, you want to come train in Canada on the West Coast where there's no esports events going on?
Yeah, but you're within range of West Coast. You can play career, right? So.
That's true. That is true.
There you go. By the way, cool build from Ziggy. Going to be the Ghost Push coming out from him. Which is something that when we first saw it at Leipzig was kind of like, what? And now it's kind of like, oh, cool. This is what we're going to see from him. So it's pretty new. Special definitely popularizing this.
But that's the thing. I'm not convinced that this build itself... Now, don't get me wrong, because I'm being super negative Nancy, right? I'm not convinced that the build itself was great. I think it was the player behind it that was great. So for Ziggy... Excuse me. Oh, hiccup. For Ziggy to pull this off, it's going to take a tremendous amount of skill. This is hardly an A-move situation. And Snoot's, like, it's not roaches. He's got a lot of, he's classically in the past had a lot of queens. He's gonna have a lot of queens this game. Zerglings to boot. That ghost is gonna help out, but the cyclones and the hellions, I think, are gonna be the real important factor here.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna do the damage. But man, if you get a couple snipes off and suddenly some queens drop, you're in some trouble maybe as the Zerg player. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, you need a good engagement from this, as we do see the queens continue to pop on out, classic Snoot style. There's a couple of Evo chambers coming up for him as well. Again, ready for his upgrades. I mean, Snoot doesn't really know about this just yet because he hasn't really had any scout, and he's just left his overlords off to the side of the bases without committing in.
This one queen does get caught a little off guard. Creep tumors go down. That kind of sucks. Snoot needs, of course, as much creep as possible for mobility, but as he starts reaching off a creep, he's going to regret this, Wardy. Snipe comes down, picks off one of the queens.
Oh man, that's triple queen already going down here. Is going to be seeing these ghosts continue to move forwards, and now, well, there's no Hellbats here. There isn't an armory. We're going to see some more snipes being lined up onto the queens, and he is going to get that one in the back low, and there's not a transfuse, so it's going to drop very quickly as drones are pulled to fight this, and these queens are still disappearing. Ziggy is making short work of this natural expansion of Snoot right now.
I think this has worked. I really didn't think this would come in so easily, but, I mean, unconventional moves from Snoot, being out of position, having 3 queens off of creep. I mean, this just was the worst start to the fight Snoot could have possibly had.
Oh my god, these poor drones, man, they're just left on their own. Finally some lings shot, but I mean, those lings are just disappearing so quickly anyways. With 20 drones down, Snoot might be about to drop game number 1. Wow. Ziggy. This is pretty sick. Still isn't over. Still sticking around. I don't even want to look at how many kills some of these cyclones and stuff have. One of the ghosts has 10 kills, the other has 15.
Wow, of course I kind of forget that bonus damage versus light means these drones and these lings and everything is about 2-shot by the ghosts except for the queens, but heck, when you got a snipe going in, you don't need the auto attacks. I love the one marine in the back too. He's got 6 kills. He went down, but the dude was a beast.
Man, I love that the ghosts are going to be like the last thing standing almost here with this final cyclone.
23.
Finally they go down. Wow.
21. Grand total, 67 Zerglings, 33 drones, and 11 queens. That is the weirdest part of this to fathom. 11 queens died when normally we're so used to seeing like infinite transfuses and nothing touching them in the early game. But the burst damage from the ghost snipe is so insane. It's just not, you just can't keep up with it.
Well, some Hellions, some Ziggy going to come over to the right. As you're going to see a couple creep teamers picked off and just pushing forwards here. Those creep teamers continue to take some damage, and I mean, Ziggy at this stage just keeps on, maybe not throwing units at Snoot, maybe he needs to kind of pull back and wait a little while to kind of really regroup, but just in general, any sort of pressure is going to go his way, right? Because he's going to force more units, he's going to get a couple drones, and he's just going to trade in the game where Snoot's not in a position to trade. Aliens back away, up the right-hand side, Bane and Ness and a Rotron coming on through here. Got more queens, more lings, 9 more drones. Ziggy can continue playing mech as well if those vehicle upgrades now starting up.
This just, you know, when it comes to Snoot objectively as a player, it doesn't come down to like a lot of his all-ins. You know, I think all-ins, I think Zerg, I'm thinking people like a laser, right? For Snoot, I'm thinking macro, I'm thinking hive tech, I'm thinking ultras and broodlords. The fact that Ziggy has, for lack of a better phrase here, cucked him from getting away with that crazy macro that he's so accustomed to, Snoot might be dead. It's weird because he's such a good player. I feel like I give him the benefit of the doubt that he should be able to recover from this, but I don't know that he can. This is so tough. Ziggy, I mean, did this is so just much
damage.
Yeah.
Like really insane amounts of damage. Like 30 workers in the first like 5-6 minutes of the game or so is really should be irrecoverable. Especially when he killed so many units as well. It's not like he killed 30 workers, but Snoot has like units to counterattack with, or he never needs to make units again, right? He has to keep making units to defend again. He has to keep making more drones to replenish those he lost, and well, I mean, he had the upgrade advantage for a little while, but obviously his lair was late, so he doesn't have 2-2 coming through. And obviously just didn't have any units to really make much of this advantage.
Something about Polish players, man. They're so good at StarCraft too.
I mean, isn't that true for any of the players from a country that are good?
Well, I just feel like classically we've seen a lot more better ranking players from Poland than any other region, right? Like back in the day you had Dystar, obviously. you've got Ziggy, you've got Mana, you've got Nurchio, you've got Soul. Like, there's just a plethora. Yeah, Laser especially, right? Guy goes to BlizzCon 2 years in a row. Like, it just, I don't know what, it's like the Korea of Europe.
The Korea of Europe. France was kind of the Korea of Europe at one point, though. They had a pretty sick lineup for a long time, like Marine Lord, Lilbo,
yeah, but
Daishi.
They all fell prey to the French stereotypes and eventually gave up and ran away.
Aye, as you do see, Ziggy's always pushing across the map. Might be Snoot that has to just give up on this one, because Ziggy has a lot, and he is not being let up in his own macro. He's been continuing to build and now pushing forwards already on top of this base.
I mean, the fact that there's another Ghost, I would love to see this for EMPs more than actual snipes. Just remove any chance of transfuses, because the Blue Flame Hellions and the Cyclones and the tanks, they'll take care of the rest.
Oh yeah, this is not looking pretty at all for Snoot as he tries to kind of gather up in his mineral line to stay alive, pulling away a little bit as well.
It's been so long since I've seen someone make Snoot look like this. I mean, this is so cool to talk about for Ziggy, because this is absolutely not Snoot, you suck. This is Ziggy playing really well, but hold the phone. He might have lost the base, but he collapses on the army, and that army supply deficit gets bridged. Snoot actually started to take a bit of a lead in army supply. With Hydra's on the way, I'm not sure if this will be a counterattack that gets him the game, but oh, I can't believe he dealt with that army. I thought that was going to be such a walk in the park for Ziggy, especially with the tanks sieged up.
It's one of those fights that just shouldn't have gone that way at all, I don't think. So, kind of crazy. Ziggy losing an army, but the thing is, he's on 80 workers against 55. He can just rebuild. You just denied a base. You know, Ziggy can rebuild so easily, so quickly. And,
oh no.
Well, Snoot's just fallen behind once again as, oh my god, those drones are maybe just going to get saved by the Lings. Wow.
Oh. Just wiping the sweat off my brow there watching that one. That one, a little bit tight there. If those drones had died, that could have been devastating for someone who's already behind on the economy.
Yeah, that could have been really rough, as we're going to be seeing here. Snoot just breaking his way through these rocks on the right-hand side, and as he opens those up, of course, he gets access to go in towards the upper left-hand side and to maybe counterattack a bit more easily. I mean, it also allows Ziggy to come into this position more easily too, though, right? So, it's an interesting one. As Hive on the way, and Snoot getting in towards that Hive tech. I mean, Viper's a necessity here, really.
By the way, bottom bracket update, guys. We got Mana advancing over Night End, so he'll play against Sort of in the other semifinals. So, a possible, not at this rate, but a possible liquid kill for the grand finals.
It's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, Snoot's going to have to do some work to get back in this game, though, as we're going to be seeing those Hellions being picked away at again. Snoot's been doing a good job of denying further attacks, right, from taking further damage. I mean, even when those Hellions hit the mineral line, he only lost 2 workers, so he's been doing a good job in that regard. But Ziggy's just pushing with his entire army again. He's got a gold base mining. Snoot's going to be really hard-pressed to deal with this again and again. He still doesn't have the Hive for the Vipers.
You know what, though? This is cool for me. I like this. Snoot has been playing, there's no doubt in anyone's mind, Snoot has been playing behind this game, but he has, to this point, actually been taking fights and taking okay trades. And while he's not gotten to run away with the game, he's still in it. Although it might not be for long with this push, but still, as he gets the Hive tech, my thoughts are like, if he gets Broodlords out, Snoot could actually win this. Well, actually, I take that back. 4 Vikings, 4 Thors at a time.
Yeah,
maybe not the case.
I was going to say, Ziggy is like, how can I lose this game? Like, if he somehow has Broodlords, maybe, and so he does the one thing that's going to obviously deal with that right away is going to see some Banes rolling in, and, well, I mean, just so many siege tanks here. Snoot tries to attack from the left and the right.
This. He sends the queens in, does a little bit of friendly fires. They focus the queens. They're durable enough to take a hit or two, so it's more friendly fire. Collapsed on the last few tanks, but it's just too many. Ziggy has no end to his army supply this time around, and Snoot's going to tap out. GG. Ziggy, with some ghost action, takes game number 1.
Pretty cool way to go about the first game here. We're going to be jumping into game 2 in a moment, but yeah, Ziggy making things happen for himself, and definitely not the scoreline I thought we'd have kicking this off.
No, I mean, I like Ziggy quite a bit, especially after watching him that last one, but I'm like Snoot 2-0, right? Like, I wasn't even thinking about Ziggy taking the game.
Oh, yeah. No, me neither, man. I think it's interesting. I mean, that said, of course, it was Ziggy kind of catching Snoot very off guard. Snoot not really aware of what was going on, right? So, I think definitely a very easy game for Snoot to look back on and be like, okay, well, this time I'll scout, right? And then I know what's going on, and I shouldn't be in anywhere near as much of an issue as before.
So I'm just snickering because I like this in chat. Mana just simply says Proland. Yes, all the Polands, the Proland players. It's kind of how it played though. Like I'm serious. I really can't think of another region that has, like, outside of Korea, excuse me, that has as many high-level players.
Yeah, me neither.
But Catalyst, not such a surprising map too.
Nope, we've seen this one before, most definitely, in pretty much every best of 3 this year so far.
Yeah,
it's well loved.
Well, folks, it's about that time to sell out again. I want to talk about today's featured sponsor. Again, there's many lovely people making the BTSL happen. You got Yord Wood Watches, you got People Images, you got Twitch, you got Ting, you got Matcherino, and of course the subscribers. But the folks I want to feature today are, of course, the Dodger Coffee Co. people. If you like to drink coffee, you want some of that good old-fashioned burnt diner style deliciousness, make sure to check out their website. You can type in !coffee in chat. If you use the URL that we have there, it'll automatically apply the 10% discount, but I believe you should be able to use the code BTSL to get a 10% discount at the checkout if for some reason it doesn't automatically apply for you. But be sure to check out !coffee in the chat, guys, because it's some good quality coffee. I don't even drink coffee, and I like the cold brew quite a bit. In fact, I've asked them to send me another at some point, so see how that lasts. But anyways, Dodger Coffee Co. Good people. They like StarCraft 2, and the fact that Dodger's a streamer, I mean, she gets the environment, which is really cool. This isn't some, like, rando company wiggling its way into esports. They know what's up.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool sponsor to have, honestly.
But folks, it's game 2, and I didn't think I'd be giving him a +1, but I have. In the top left, the Polish player, the Yellow Terran, Ziggy.
Woo! The bottom right hand side, the red Zerg looking to bounce back and tie things up. It's Team Liquid Snoot.
I want to just shut this down real quick, by the way. First off, I like the build. It's kind of cool to wall this off really quick. But some of the chat says, I feel like Snoot was almost kind of BMing Ziggy, underrating him. I don't think that's the case, actually. Snoot would be the last player I would... Like, of all the players in StarCraft 2, there are some that would absolutely do that. But Snoot would be the last person on my list to think would behave like that. Not the BM factor, but the underestimating. Because Snoot takes everybody seriously. And I think that's why he's one of the most likable guys there is. He treats everybody with respect.
Yeah, it's... I don't think that can be true at all. I think Snoot just didn't see what was coming, and it was one of those builds where he's just been a little bit too greedy against what came, and it really snowballed there, and Ziggy played it well from that. Anyways, we set up into this. It's free Rax Reaper. I mean, only Ziggy would still be free Rax Reaper in here in 2018, so we'll see how he's able to get this going and see if it's going to be good enough to take map 2 and to close out the series. Even though I don't really feel like Catalyst is that great of a map for the free Rax Reaper player, because it's like, I guess there's a few ledges more towards the center, but around the bases, I don't feel like there's a lot of ways in and out, you know? So, interesting.
Oh, nice build cancel on that Spore Crawler, so the Reaper's not going to get a pick off of that drone. Several more Reapers still coming out, though. I mean, this is old school as old school gets. We don't have multiple Rax Reaper builds like this anymore.
No, pretty much no one does these because they just don't really work, so I'm not sure what exactly Ziggy is kind of hoping for. I'm not sure if he's just... I don't know what he's expecting from this. I don't know how much he's expecting to get done, but he's still making it happen for now. He's poking away at those queens and pulling back nicely, but Snoot's just making so many lings getting ready to flood into this. And he's going to be ready to jump on these in just a few moments. There's a queen, though, and he actually might lose the second one as well, as the Reapers are still staying alive, so Ziggy, good control, and Snoot taking some damage here.
Running around with these shots, it's very difficult to get on top of this, but with speed finally on his side. Look at that surround. Grenades are not going to be able to keep these Zerglings off forever. They'll keep bouncing back. They'll keep hitting these Reapers, and we're starting to see why these Reapers aren't as good anymore.
Yeah, those Reapers just don't do enough damage. The cooldown isn't there to kind of just spam grenades forever, and well, Snoot's already just pushed this away while cleaning out the Reapers. Means that he just has control of the map. He can drone pretty freely from this point as well, and I mean, what do you actually do as Ziggy now? I mean, he's still building Reapers and 3 more barracks. He's going to keep building them, apparently.
This is the nice thing. By running across the map like this, by getting on top of the depot, like, normally Snoot would run in and kill a lot of SCVs, but Ziggy had built all of his production out here, so he walled it off. He actually gets to maintain his natural, where in other cases you're lifting it, you're canceling it, you're not getting to mine off of it. So really cleverly well played by Ziggy in that setup sense. But Snoot didn't overreact to this. He made like just as many Zerglings as he needed. Now he's gone back towards some of that tech. Got a couple. Oh, actually, might be looking to bust here. I wasn't sure if he's going to go back into droning immediately because he does have a third base on the way. But if he wants to try and all in off this, he might just be able to punish Ziggy through that wall. It's not a great wall. There's not really much behind it. It's just it's there to keep Lings out, and that's it. If the roaches come across the map and bust this down, then the Zerglings flood right on in.
I think it's just being safe as well, though, because he sees no add-ons, so he knows there's no further tech. He knows it's just still Reapers, right? And I think it gets to a point where just Zerglings really doesn't fight well against Reapers, so the roaches will go a lot better for him. So I think that's maybe just what he's going to be aiming for here now, as we do see 6 Reapers being made at a time, and so we'll start make those roaches. I mean, definitely the possibility there to get across the map as well, right? But we'll see if he does want to just run across straight away as the Reapers coming down the left.
So they don't sponsor the BaseTradeTV Starlink, but they've been sponsoring other events we've been doing lately. Luckbox has a couple of folks in chat today. I managed to convince them to come out and watch some StarCraft because they had told me that they've been watching a lot of our VODs on YouTube. I'm like, well, come out for a live show and watch it. So I thought like maybe just one person would come in to chat, but it looks like they brought a crew of them. Berserk7789 says, hey Rifkin, we're here. Lars Luckbox, Felix is Cat, Ellie is Naroic Lime, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, and Nick. Luckbox, pretty cool company, guys. If you got any questions actually about them, you can type !Luckbox in chat. Actually, they're just looking for clicks on that link, frankly, but you can ask some questions if you got them, because they're some pretty cool dudes, and the fact that they like StarCraft is good in my books. Snoot does clean that up, though. Just kind of waiting for that to come down, and ties up the series 1-1.
Clean, simple, no questions asked. I mean, Reapers, man, in 2018, they just don't work.
You gotta go something ridiculous, like 5 Rax Reapers if you really want to make that snowball.
And like proxied as well or something. Like,
yeah,
I don't even know.
They just don't have the power that they used to. So for Ziggy, maybe interesting, clever, but not clever enough to get around Snoots. But before we hop into this next game, before we hop back to just BTSL featured stuff, I bring up the Luckbox people, not just because it's cool to actually see them in chat, that we convinced them to come watch a tournament live, but also because we have a giveaway running with them. If you guys haven't seen, you can type !giveaway in chat. So like I said, !Luckbox, !giveaway. The giveaway is just a gleam.io link, so you do things like you follow the Twitter, you join the BaseTradeTV something, you check out their website, all that good stuff. You get a chance to win. And that closes up, I think, in like, if not tomorrow, the day after. So really, it's your last few chances to get in on that giveaway. The prize is interchangeable as well. So if you don't want to get a Pro plushie, like a StarCraft 2 plushie, if you want a month of Crunchyroll Premium or something like that instead, an Amazon gift card of equivalent value, you got it. So get in there, enter it, try to win. But we're heading to Eastwatch.
Wow.
This bloody map is never picked by anybody, but here we are in game 3 of the semifinals. Ace match time. Bottom left side, we have the yellow Terran Ziggy.
He is going up against the red Zerg to the top right-hand side. I think he'll be happy with this map. In Team Liquid, it is Snoot.
I'm just curious, roughly, how many have you seen a lot of games on this map yet, or has it been pretty
I've seen quite a few, I think. Okay. I don't think it's picked a lot, but I've seen a fair amount.
Has nobody been going for the gold in the games you've been casting as well?
No, I think a lot of people have been going for gold, especially in like TvZ. Yeah, I've seen a good mix of things on this map.
We've had very little to no gold at all taken every time we've been casting, so that's an interesting dynamic. But looks like Ziggy is going to turn up the heat, guys. It's 3 Rax Reaper, it's on proxy, and of course there is a back door on this map to hop up. So Snoot, I say nobody takes the gold. Ziggy does, but not in the conventional sense.
He takes his opponent's gold with barracks. Hey, you said it though, if you want to win with Reapers, you got to do something crazy, and I think this is the definition of crazy. Proxying 3 racks and getting ready to go.
This is still easier said than done when it comes to the actual win. This might bully Snoot if Snoot handles it incorrectly, but the one thing I like about Snoot, and this is really evident, actually, if you watch a lot of Snoot streams. He's very methodical. He's seen all these builds before. He's fought against them thousands of times, I'm sure. This isn't like he's approaching it, gets caught off guard and says, oh my god, how do I deal with it? Like for Snoot, it's just a matter of like, when does he recognize this is happening? Last game, I was gonna bring this up, right? Not last game, but game 1, he had sent so many Zerglings to every inch of the map, scouting for things like this, and he's gonna see it now. This is so well done by Snoot.
Yeah, it pays off for him right away, just that kind of diligence in the scouting. As you can see, the first Reaper, obviously we'll be able to get rid of those lings, but it's the information for Snoot that's just so worth those couple of Zerglings. You already see the Queen coming in to start pushing away, and the Roach drone will just drop down immediately. Snoot gonna bypass the ling speed, just go straight to Roaches here for his defense.
Well, it's kind of funny actually, because Roaches themselves can still be kind of kited around by Reapers, but Ravagers, not so much. So regardless, this is the right tech path to go down. Queen's gonna take a bit of damage though before he gets a chance to get any of those out.
A little bit painful. It's going to be seeing the Reapers, though. Actually, one of them low health and is in a bit of a bad spot. But Snoot, he does get the target fire in the end. I thought he just missed it there for a moment. As you see a couple of lingers across the map, just being annoying, forcing so many SCVs off the line.
Yeah, when you consider his SCV count's fairly low, that's about a third of the SCVs. Queen finally goes down. They slay the dragon, but the Roaches are on deck. This Queen's also going to go down by the looks of it. She takes a Reaper with her, though, and with 5 Roaches about to pop in the main, Snoot's going to lose a couple of drones, but this shouldn't be game ending.
You see some more Roaches popping up, and you're not going to see the Queen as well, able to keep on fighting it. The Reapers still just getting away.
I always love watching that hop from the grenade, push units towards the Reaper. You're like, damn it.
Come get me. Well, Ziggy's done a little bit so far.
It's really important Snoot's done this. He doesn't have anything down here at the natural base, so there's nothing exposed. Ziggy realizes his time's up with the Roaches spawning, and I like the good manners. Good game, good luck in the next. But, of course, I remind everybody, I'm going to remind Ziggy too, that he is in fact qualified through. Top 4 players make it, so congratulations, Ziggy. But now it's going to go for Snoot to the finals, where he'll get either $50 or $10, depending whether he wins or loses those finals, but also gets priority pick if he wins. We'll talk more about that as we get to the finals, but we have the other semifinals match to hop into now, guys. We've got about 30 minutes since our last ad break, so I hope you'll do us a kindness, sit tight, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 minutes as we play these ads out, and we'll get into the other semifinals of Mana versus sort of TvZ. Before we do, though, big thank you is still locked for the 3-month resub Magic Monkey for 38, which I think I said earlier, but just in case I didn't, big love anyways. And then Aristodimas _ a brand new Prime sub. Nice to have you on board, man. And Nosneb782 came back for 34 months running. 1,006 subscribers now. Woo! Look the 1,000 mark. But of course, by the time we're live on Friday, I'm sure it'll be back to where it was. But we're going to commercials.